Good evening to you. You're watching Times Now. I'm Pratibha Chandran and today we are going to talk about the hypocrisy of the left. Viewers, remember 20 of our brave Jawans made the supreme sacrifice at Galwan to keep the expansionist dragon at bay. Today Galwan is still a part of India thanks to their sacrifice. But while the entire nation salutes these Jawans and their valor, some of our own netas appear to be towing the Beijing line. Today, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan praised the Chinese President Xi Jinping for winning the presidential election, if you can even call it one. Now, considering it was uncontested in the first place. Not just that, but he also went on to say that China has emerged as a prominent voice in global politics. This is a tweet that Pinarayi Vijayan has put in place. Now, the Congress party has responded to the left's high praise for China, refusing to condemn. The Congress says this is just a mark of gesture. There's nothing wrong with what the left has said. Listen in.
The gesture and Communist Party of China and Communist Party of India have a cultural relationship. And if Mr. Pinarayi expresses a gesture, mark-up gesture, Modi will not do.
So, the statement that was made by Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, and I quote from his tweet, "Revolutionary greetings to President Xi Jinping on his re-election as a President of the People's Republic of China. It is truly commendable that China has emerged as a prominent voice in global politics. Best wishes for the continued effort to achieve a more prosperous China." These are the best wishes that are coming in from the Kerala Chief Minister at a time when there are Jawans who have sacrificed their lives. Mithun Vijay Kumar, political analyst, as well as Vivek Srivastava, political analyst, joining us on the broadcast. I want to ask you first, Mr. Mithun Vijay Kumar, what do you think of this high praise that has come in from the Kerala Chief Minister? He says, revolutionary greetings to President Xi Jinping. This is coming at a time where some within the country who also continue to say that democracy is dead in India, but there seems to be no problem in this high praise for China.
See, first of all, Kochi is suffocating from the last 8 to 10 days because of the fire at the waste treatment plant, but Pinarayi Vijayan has not spoken a word about it. And he must remember that, chief ministers of Indian states, they represent the common interests of the nation. And at this time, when India is having territorial disputes with China, he's using it as a political opportunity. So let's understand that, they are kind of using it as an opportunity to attack the center, but at the cost of, the nation itself. So we know that this is an election where there was no opposite candidate against Mr. Xi Jinping. And this is nothing compared to the wish that Pinarayi Vijayan gave for Kim Jong-un. So I seriously doubt whether it's a dictatorial model of ideology that they are following, and they want to, they are expressing their support from time to time to dictators like Xi Jinping or Kim Jong-un. And, so what we can understand is that the CPIM draws inspiration from the achievements of dictators worldwide. Here they speak of secularism, but do not hesitate, standing with those who curb press freedom and impose military rule.
Gopal Agarwal, BJP spokesperson, as well as Rajan Roach, political analyst, also on the broadcast with us. I just want to take in a word from Mr. Vivek Srivastava as well very quickly. Mr. Srivastava, do you also agree with what the left is saying? The Kerala Chief Minister, no less, saying, greetings to Xi Jinping at a time when the entire world is really laughing at what's happening in China?
Firstly, nobody is laughing, and I think there's nothing wrong in greeting a neighboring country. And I think what you don't know is that the panelist sitting over here doesn't know is there is a Communist Party in America, there is a Communist Party in United Kingdom, there's a Communist Party in France, in Vietnam, in Cuba. I mean, across the world there are Communist parties which believe that Marxism is the right way to run a country politically, socially and economically. Now, when you say
can you quote one example of a nation that
Communist Party in another country, whether it was China,
Yes.
No, please.
Yes, Mr. Vivek, go on.
I mean, so now it is just a way of congratulating. It is just a way of congratulating another Communist Party which had its another office bearer being elected. It is nothing more than that. It is just a very customary kind of a way. And that is what the Congress is also trying to say. It doesn't make us unpatriotic. We have been ruling various states in this country, 35 years, 20 years, 25 years, 10 years Manipur, now in Kerala. We have been at the center. We have made major contributions. The Communist Party of India has made major contributions to this country in its progress. So we don't need BJP's certificate.
Okay.
We fought for the independence of this country, side by side with the
Okay, you're
Communist Party.
saying we don't need the BJP certificate, but I'm sure you're aware of what the situation is in Galwan. We remember what has happened in Galwan. Would you say that the timing at least is a little off, that, you know, at a time like this when there is such expansionism from China that the entire world has acknowledged? India itself has also mentioned it time and again. In fact, the talks are still going on. At a time like this, is it, you know, off color? Mr. Gopal Agarwal, you know, Mr. Vivek saying there's nothing wrong, these are just greetings, so what?
We have to understand. Hello?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
The issue is that the China at present, at many platforms globally or in other countries or other platforms, is that it has been adversary. There are so many issues which are a point of conflict and challenge between India and China. At this point of time, when India is expanding into the global arena at various platforms, whether it is the G20 platform or international or World Economic Forum, or asking for the permanent seats in the United Nations Security Council, which are vehemently being opposed by one particular country, that is China. And it also is indulging into incursions into our attacking at our border, creating disturbances, all kind of disturbance. There was a armed conflict at border. So at this point of time, just it is not only wishing that anybody has won the election for the third time. It is that he is saying, Pinarayi Vijayan is saying that he is a global voice. That way he is glorifying the Chinese international outreach. That's what is conflicting, and this has been always the issues with the communists, that it was always said that if it will rain in China, they will carry umbrella in India. This was a popular slogan at every time. Their alignment with Communist Party in China, to the level of even taking anti-national stands on some of the issues, is a point of worry. We as a BJP, we are not issuing any certificate to anybody.
To this.
Okay,
We have strong objections to your use of the word anti-national. We have ruled this country more than you.
Okay, so you're saying that China emerging as a prominent voice in global politics, there's nothing wrong with it. So, Mr. Vivek Srivastava, I just want to ask you, first I asked you about, you know, the situation along the border, what's happening in Galwan. We've spoken about that. Apart from that, the handling of COVID-19 as well. Just to make a comparison of what has happened in India versus China, we've seen how China has handled the pandemic and the entire world has suffered because of that. And Pinarayi Vijayan has been very vocal in his criticism for the Modi government, and time and again he has criticized the Modi government, and you know, questions are raised even though Modi has been elected to power. But here you have him hailing Xi Jinping, not talking about the failures of China when it comes to the handling of COVID-19. So his remarks at a time like this, when the entire world is trying to corner China over what's happening, would you say that, you know, it's ill-advised?
No, absolutely not. It is not ill-advised. And I praised the Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar when we went ahead against the American wishes and purchased fuel from Russia, even though the United States was threatening us. So, I mean, it is not as if I criticize the government point blank on everything. No. But you need to understand, Russia, China, Iran, you know, and many other countries, including Cuba, Vietnam, a new axis is being formed. And even our foreign minister is trying to be a part of it. That is the reality. I mean, the other axis, which consists of Israel and America and the European countries, may be very inimical for India in the coming years. They are imperialist powers. They destroyed Afghanistan, they destroyed Iran, they destroyed Vietnam. You know, bad Gulf politics for oil. America and NATO Political talks is the only
But is
way
that
out.
what's happening? But is that
Skirmishes
what's
and
happening on
warmongering
ground? It
is
doesn't
not
seem
done.
like. And I'm
This
talking
is what
about
I
the
feel.
Kerala Chief Minister and what he has said about India. On Manish Sisodia's arrest, he said that this is an abuse of power and an attack on democracy. This is what the Kerala Chief Minister said. Previously as well, when he was with the Telangana Chief Minister, he again said that the BJP is undoing the foundation of the nation's democracy. So he has questioned and said that the democracy of the country is under attack time and again, but he has no problems whatsoever in what's happening in China. Mr. Royden Roach, I want you to come in here. Do you think this is hypocrisy of the left?
Well, to look at it, I don't see hypocrisy at all in it. I really appreciate them for them to look at least congratulate them. Somebody from the country has congratulated their neighbors. Okay, it is nothing to do about who is he. When even the BJP speaks about that, what did our Prime Minister himself do with Pakistan? He was an uninvited guest who stopped over and went to Pakistan, had biryani and came back. Now when somebody from here, one of the left parties also, who was having the same left party there in China, who has congratulated the Prime Minister, the President there, I don't see anything wrong. See, it is only politicizing the issue, and day in and day out, let me tell you what, these issues are coming up again and again. The BJP and the media is involved in this, just to try to save Adani's. You can look at even Manish Sisodia's case also. The ED and the CBI is only to cover up the Adani issues. Day and night is the issue with Ms. Kavita, Ms. Sodi, and all these issues happening. It's only to try to cover, the media engaged covering up Adani's failures.
Okay, so these
Even
are central
this is one of
agencies
them.
that are probing the liquor gate case. This is a charge sheet and it mentions that 100 crores have
Then
been
why
paid
does
by
the media speak more
K.
about Adani?
Kavita, who is
No,
leading
why
the South
does
Group, to the Aam
why
Aadmi
does
Party
the
leader. So these are the
media
draft
stand?
charges that they are probing. So is that the death of democracy when the central agencies are probing? And if you talk about that, I also want to, talk about Pinarayi Vijayan hailing the BBC and, when the BBC documentary on Prime Minister Modi came in. But if you look at the crackdown in Kerala, there was another hypocrisy. He said that that's not journalism. When the Modi government cracked down on the BBC, he said that democracy is under threat. This is freedom of press being attacked. But that it was completely different when it came to the Kerala government dealing with Asianet. Mithun Vijay Kumar, time and again, questions being asked on Prime Minister Modi. He visited Pakistan. What about, back then? Back then, the BJP didn't have anything to say. So now, why is there a problem? Because this is just a simple wish, nothing more to it.
See, this wish, the timing of the wish is the problem. And let's be open to admit that Pinarayi Vijayan is expressing his anti-BJP views at the cost of national interest this time. He has, spoken various statements, but this is at the cost of national interest is what we must admit. And he calls Modi a fascist, but he supports, Xi Jinping, who is someone known for curbing press freedom. And of course, there are ideological similarities between the two, the Pinarayi Vijayan's party and the Communist Party, Chinese Communist Party. And in fact, Pinarayi Vijayan himself tried to curb press freedom by trying to, bring the 118A amendment to the Police Act, which although did not go as he planned. So there are ideological similarities involved, and we can understand that why he is congratulating Xi Jinping or why he is congratulating Kim Jong-un. And let me remind Mr. Vivek Srivastava of the achievements. He was speaking about the achievements that communists have made. And what are the achievements that Communist Party of Kerala has made? The only achievement is that, every scam leads to the Chief Minister's office in Kerala. That every scam, right from the dollar scam to gold smuggling, there is a huge list of, scams where leaders of the ruling government are involved in. And in all these scams, the Chief Minister's office is somehow the other way implicated. So, and also let's not forget about the spousal appointments of CPIM leaders in various government positions. So this is a party that flouts rules and, regulations for its leadership. So there is a silent dictatorial model of governance that is being implemented in Kerala, and that kind of reflects or resonates with that in China. And that's the reason, all these congratulatory messages are flowing in.
Okay, Mr. Vivek Srivastava, the timing of it, time and again, have we forgotten what happened, the incursion in Galwan? Have we forgotten that completely? Because back then as well, the Kerala Chief Minister had only expressed his shock, but did not really call out China for what it did. The kind of aggression that we are seeing on the border, is that all forgotten in these wishes?
No, absolutely. Nobody has forgotten. But then you have to talk of solutions. You cannot keep on blaming each other, and you cannot have skirmishes all along for the next 20 years. You have to move ahead. We are both strong nations. We are both big nations. And talk is the only way out. There's only a political solutions. few army commanders talking to each other can maximum diffuse the tension for some time. Finally, the leadership on both the sides has to sit down, talk it out and iron it out. Post 1962, there was no major skirmish between China and India. I mean, we used to talk of Pakistan. We never talked of China. But since 2014, something has changed. And I'll tell you what has changed. What has changed is the foreign policy of this country. Since 2014, I mean, we have become an ally of the United Nations, virtually a colony. An imperialist country like America has been using us at the international front. We cannot change the neighbors. We have to acknowledge
are you saying that China is not to blame because, you know, countries like Russia, there are other countries as well that are talking about the expansionist ways of China. Are you saying that China is not to blame and it's only the Modi government and its policies that are to blame?
Look, I'll be very clear. In foreign policy, there is nothing called white and black. The world is grey. Any country you deal with is not going to be totally white for you or totally black for you. It is going to be shades of grey. If the shades of grey are closer to white, it is good for us. So we need to see what is good for us. It is a neighbor. It is a strong superpower today. It's a strong economic superpower today. Let's face it, it is the only country in the world apart from Russia which is able to challenge the imperialism of America, which is out to dictate terms, and it is not a country to be tested. So we need to also be diplomatic and have diplomatic solutions. But then having a good diplomatic relations with the world around you is another thing. So this Farji Rashtravad of the BJP, we do not agree with it. They are just trying to, you know, their own stupid foreign policy, which has taken us nowhere.
But we didn't see a word of condemnation and calling out of China when the Galwan incursion happened. We didn't see the Kerala Chief Minister calling out China for what it did. Stay on with me. We have reactions coming in from the BJP as well, saying CPM has always been supportive of China. So this statement from the Chief Minister does not really come as a big surprise. When the Chinese government tested nuclear weapons, the CPM in Kerala rejoiced. So this latest high praise for China does not come as a big surprise.
I think that the Kerala Chief Minister, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan, has congratulated Chinese president for his re-election. And also Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan has shown his joyness and happiness over Chinese progress, our Chinese model. The CPM from the beginning, it was a China-made party, made for China party in India. The formation of CPM in 1964 was after an ideological difference inside CPI over some of their leaders were aligned with Soviet Russia and some of them were aligned with China, and that was resulted in the formation of CPM. The ever tallest leader of CPM, EMS Namboodiripad, who was also the former Chief Minister of Kerala, has made a notorious comment over Chinese aggression on India in 1962. At that occasion, EMS Namboodiripad actually...
First reaction coming in from the government as well. The centre has slammed Bharat bashing brigade. Rajiv Chandrasekhar taking to Twitter to say if only Pinarayi and Rahul would be as happy and congratulatory about India's rise. That's a reaction coming in from the minister. Mr. Gopal Agarwal, very quickly, you know, first we had Rahul Gandhi undermining India's democracy. Now we have Pinarayi Vijayan calling for China's success. Now the centre's reaction is that if only they were as happy about the rise of India. So are there people within the country who are pulling it down?
Issue is very clear now. It's not only the hypocrisy of the opposition. It is that the people of the country, India, have rejected them, and communist people are, except Kerala, they have no place in India for any support. The thing is their frustration with the Indian people's not giving them mandate, and they are not able to fight that situation. So they are using foreign countries and foreign places to just undermine India and take their political agenda further. That's completely clearly an anti-national stand that they are taking, and they are involving foreign countries into domestic issues. That's very bad. Glorifying which are adversaries. Communists have to clearly say whether China is our friend or our adversary. If they say that it is our friend, then they have to answer whether Galwan issue or whether China stopping us from having the permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council, or our anti-India stand on 370, or its support to Pakistan, etc. All these issues have to be explained by them, even at the cost of terrorism. Chinese support to that international terrorist is also a very big cause of concern for India. So clearly, China is an adversary, and if communists consider them as our friend, then it's very clear that it's not hypocrisy, but it's a political agenda that they want to run, because the people of India have rejected them, and politically they are not able to fight the nationalist force, particularly BJP, and therefore they are taking this kind of statements and steps.
Okay, these statements being taken up because they've been rejected by the people. But remember, now it is Pinarayi Vijayan. Before that, it was Rahul Gandhi who said democracy is dead in the country. This debate, of course, raging on in the country. Thank you all for joining us. But the Prime Minister had a big